Queen 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we are on Antigua Shipyard, and down in the lower left, the player who has single-handedly gotten Quantic ahead in this series, winning 2 games already. It is QxG.Destiny. And in the upper right, from the team mouz, all the way from Sweden, it is the winner of TSL3, mouz.ThorZaIN.
Now, if I'm right, I think in the first game, Destiny said good luck. In the second game, after he won the first one, he said good luck, have fun. Now he's won 2 in a row, and he's thrown an exclamation mark at the end. So I think he's getting progressively happier as he moves along. So
too, he's gonna need to stay calm though. You got to stay calm, and collected when you're playing against ThorZaIN. You know ThorZaIN's going to, so you really have to do that.
That is the very definition of ThorZaIN. Actually, always calm and collected, always very patient, always just wants to make his opponent just kill themselves. Actually, with how excruciatingly slow ThorZaIN does end people's lives. So let's see here though, and what both our players are going to offer. ThorZaIN, as you mentioned, does like this map, even though a lot of people, as you pointed out before, think that this map is quite good for Zerg players because of the brand of play he can play on here.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Destiny opens up with. It has been a 14 pool every game up until now, but of course this is the first time he's played a Terran.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go hatch first. I mean, it is standard these days. If someone doesn't go hatchery first against Terran, you kind of are like, what are they planning? What sort of weirdness is going on here? So yeah, I'm sure it'll be a 15 hatch, and there he goes. Yeah, so it will be a 15 hatchery for Destiny. Probably going to get that 15 pool as well. Just be nice and prepared for whatever ThorZaIN sends at him. ThorZaIN, as you notice, not doing any sort of early barracks cheese. He does do that every once in a while, but normally it seems like he likes to tech up more normally. Probably going to see reactored Hellions out of him.
And yeah, I definitely think you're right. He may throw us a weird build here, but I definitely think you're right. He's especially been doing early aggression against Protoss players lately. Back in Team Arena Challenge 1 and a couple of games since then, he has been using bunker pressure to deny fast expands out of Protoss players pretty effectively, especially on Daybreak. Every game TVP that I've seen of his lately, he's bunker rushed and done it actually pretty successfully. So,
Green is A.
Oh, apparently they had a large discussion there. I'm actually I am going to
oh, interesting.
I am actually going to message log this. I'm curious. Oh, I didn't realize it was going to stop the game. I'm sorry. He says he didn't change his hotkeys on this server. I wanted to see what the cause for the pause was. But my apologies. I didn't know it was going to stop it.
Okay.
And let's see here.
I'm so rage-filled. I'll be ragey for the chat.
I didn't know it was going to stop. I didn't know it was going to stop it. Anyway, let's see here. He's going to have enough for a factory. There it is. And he'll build his reactor here in just a second once he builds back up to 50 gas. Of course, he got racks and gas, and then command center, and then into factory after that. But still, pretty predictable reactor Hellion expand build.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And right now, Destiny just droning up, which is what you want to do. If you're a Zerg player, you want those drones, getting some gas. He's going to be getting that Zergling speed pretty soon, probably.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Destiny is the type of Zerg player to want to get some early roaches. Some Zerg players just kind of go for it now in an assumption that there will be Hellions. He's putting down a spine crawler, though, putting down 2 of them, so I don't think we're going to see roaches very, very early. I think he's just going to try to hold with queens and a couple spines, which is what a lot of Zerg players choose to do to kind of keep themselves going a little bit more economically.
Yeah.
So
not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, you just see so many roaches in the early game do really well against Terran, but to a certain extent, I feel like some Zerg players go for them too quickly, you know?
Right.
And they don't need them, and then their economy is kind of behind, and they have these roaches they don't really know what to do with.
Right.
So, yeah, I like this by Destiny, that he's going to just be like, all right, I'm just going to control my queens well. I'm going to have spines. I'm going to make sure I move my drones if I need to.
Right.
And I'm going to deal with the Hellions that way.
And we'll see here. He has Evolution Chamber coming down now and is still mining quite a bit of gas off of that first extractor. ThorZaIN has a couple of interesting buildings coming up, though. Tech Lab on the barracks right away. Not gotten any upgrades with that quite yet. We'll see if he does once he saves up that 100. And he also built a starport at the same time with a medevac.
Ah, okay.
We may see some fairy play into the main.
Fairy play. That sounds like something completely different than like.
Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Magical land of terror.
Yes. No, I grasp
four-wheeled
the English
fairy
language, not the perfect.
destroys drones.
All right. That is true, I suppose.
There you go.
Let's see here, though.
But
Oh, there's
Medevac
our
is coming out, yeah.
there's our first medevac for the fairy play.
No
Let's
Marauders
see.
or anything, though, so he's just going to go with only Hellions right now.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see this paired with some Marauders or some Marines, but he's just going for Hellions, which is fine. Roach Warren started, though, for Destiny. Oh, no, is he going to lose?
Oh, no! Get away!
He's ran up against the edge of space. Oh, no. Why did the
can't I
universe
go
have to
further?
end right there? Why couldn't it go on for 2 more feet?
Yeah, sad stuff. Looks like, though, Destiny should know that something's coming. Oh, now he definitely knows. He can see the medevac. He can see the Hellions. And we'll see what ThorZaIN does. Is he moving in with 5 Hellions now? Already Destiny moving away his drones down to his natural, it appears. Those Hellions trying to catch up. And doesn't look like they're going to get a great hit right away, actually surrounding a couple of those. Not a bad defense out of Destiny so far.
Yeah, he handled it quite well. He got the drones out of the way. He's got some Lings here to get a little bit of a surround. Obviously, Lings aren't going to kill the Hellions, but they are going to drive them away.
Yeah,
So
he critically
pretty well, I would say.
kills one, critically injures a couple more, and doesn't take really any damage. 1 worker killed so far.
Yep, and ThorZaIN in the meantime going into a pretty standard Marine tank. He's actually getting 2 engineering bays, though, which is really interesting.
Wow.
Interesting to me. He wants to get those bio upgrades really fast, it looks like, which is pretty cool. I mean, it'll give him an excuse, too, to get an armory a little bit earlier, which will help him get the Thors out when the mutas do come, because it looks like Destiny... we don't know for sure, but
of course,
maybe going for mutas later on in the game, so he'll have that option as well. But yeah, just bio play with really fast upgrades from ThorZaIN.
And let's see here. He already has +1 weapons and armor on the way, and stim and siege mode. So moving into a predictable unit composition, just getting all of this technology in place first. I'm sure he was watching his, or at least knows about his teammates' games, so knows that Destiny has not been moving out on the map very, very quickly. They've been sitting back and investing in upgrades and infrastructure. So not a bad read there from ThorZaIN. He actually is ahead in supply in this game as well.
Yep, there's the lair going up for Destiny 2. Wonder if we're going to see that Ling Infestor Ultra play. It's not bad on this map, and he does have the double Evo chamber, I believe. I thought I saw two.
Yes, he does, up at the front.
He does. And that is something that is quite popular in ZVT. We originally saw players like Damaga doing that way back when, and Stefano lately has really shown the strength of it. And it's just kind of always been a good, solid strategy against Terran, although I've always been a little bit on the fence about the Ultralisks, but if you get far enough ahead, they're perfectly fine.
Sure, if you get far enough ahead, but that already makes them sound like a unit that's like, well, you know, I guess if you could just blow about 30 supply and you don't worry about it. But
that's kind of how it is.
Yeah. We already have a 3rd base coming up for ThorZaIN now. Destiny, on the other hand, investing in his upgrades. Oh, he's going to have to watch out for this drop once again, though. Doesn't know that it's there quite yet. 1 drone goes down. A lot of drones are lined up at the moment, but nice block with the Queen.
Yeah, wow.
All right. So ThorZaIN getting away. He only kills 2 more drones there. A bunch of Lings running around for Destiny off to the right-hand side. I'm not sure what they're queuing up for quite yet.
Probably just kind of looking around for things.
Sure.
Watching for drops. They can look for maybe hidden bases that ThorZaIN has taken. So, and it's good to just have your Lings out on the map, too. You know, I mean, especially on a map like this where you've got that kind of narrower natural with the ramp and everything like that. If your whole army is right up there and you get pushed, it becomes very difficult for you to engage properly.
Yeah.
But with this, you can set up some nice flanks and things like that. So, yeah, Destiny just kind of showing some foresight at this point.
All right, but you know what? He is a little bit down in this game so far. ThorZaIN has been macroing very well, and he has his 3rd base turning into an orbital command at the moment. Now, Destiny has invested in a lot of tech up to this point. ThorZaIN does confirm the presence of a 3rd base, though, and the time that it's going to come up. And let's see here as Destiny defending off those Hellions pretty well, but this is a scary amount of forces sitting in the middle of the field for ThorZaIN.
Yeah, it is, but in classic ThorZaIN fashion, he's really waiting until the last possible moment to go and do it. In fact, he's just going to sit in the middle for a little bit, just kind of be intimidating, I guess you could say.
Sure.
You know, he knows that Destiny is going to want to make some more drones for his 3rd. He'd be doing that right about now, but instead he's got Destiny producing Lings. So, you know, just by being out on the map, he's kind of hindering that 3rd base a little bit without actually physically being there. The only problem with sitting out there for too long, though, is that you might set yourself up to a position where you'll be flanked pretty badly.
And Destiny is saving up a ton of gas for Infestors. Pathogen glands are almost done enough that he can go ahead and start the Infestors. There they are, 7 coming up at once now. ThorZaIN, though, spreading his tanks nicely as little groups of Marines to defend each one as well. So using his units very effectively by Zergling, gets shelled in the middle of the map. And third base is now up for ThorZaIN as well. Same thing for Destiny, but he's only utilized the production from it. No mining quite yet. In fact, he's been playing off of 46 drones this entire game, despite not really losing all that much. In fact, he's only lost 5 workers this entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I had mentioned, where just knowing that army is there is intimidating enough that a lot of Zerg players will start making a lot more units, maybe a little bit earlier than they wanted to. ThorZaIN, though, in reality, is just kind of using it to take the gold. I mean, if you look at this, all he's been doing is a little bit of Hellion harassment. He has not yet pushed at all in this game, other than just to kind of take the middle, and that's so ThorZaIN. That's just what he does. He's quite good at it.
Much like Raven, that is so ThorZaIN.
So Raven.
All right. Overlord goes down. Now, the one thing this will do for Destiny, though, is that he'll be able to, well, okay, spam out a ton of infested Terrans, and that's going to give him the ability to flank in with both his sets of units. All right, never mind. I'll talk about what I thought was going to happen in a second ago. Let's see here, though. The infested Terrans making their way up. The front line of tanks has gone down, but ThorZaIN has dealt with this pretty effectively. He's up by 40 supply now, increasing to 50 at the moment.
Yep,
the infestors haven't done all that much quite yet.
Oh, the upgrades are pretty strong, and yeah, I thought he was going to maybe toss some infested Terrans in there to get the tanks to fire at each other, but no, he just tried to use it to soak fire so his Lings could get in there, like you said, but he just didn't have enough Lings, and the upgrades just weren't quite as good, too. So ThorZaIN held that fairly easily. I think Destiny kind of assumed there'd be a few less tanks than there were, too. It was kind of a weird situation to be in, so I can see how that would happen for sure.
I kind of thought that he was going to have a situation where he was intentionally waiting on producing drones so that he could have a really big maxed army and actually survive a straight-up engagement. But no, it looks like he just wanted to push early, as he did just produce a round of 16 drones behind this. Neural Parasite, Hive, and a Spire coming up. I don't know if that's going to allow him enough time to go ahead and save up for Broodlords.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be pretty tough for Destiny to get back in this game in a big way. ThorZaIN's really threatening that third here.
Yeah.
Destiny is teching really heavily, too, so he's not going to have a lot of extra units. Ooh, ouch. Losing some infestors there. ThorZaIN's upgrades, I have to say it again, are just so good.
Yes, they are. He's playing so well.
Yeah, getting those 2 engineering bays up. Now he's got the gold. Destiny is kind of caught between a rock and an exploding tank shell place.
That's about right.
And space.
More infested Terrans dropping down now, but of course it's melee attacks, not missile attacks. It's been researched. Those infested Terrans aren't very strong as it is, and it looks like he is going to sack this next base. Unfortunately, there's a planetary fortress over at the gold, so that's not assaultable. He's just going to go straight into the natural, which is not terribly bad, but ThorZaIN's position is still a lot stronger.
Yep, Destiny's going to be able to do a little bit of damage up here at the third, deny some mining for a while, and ThorZaIN's just going to toss those guys down to the gold base. But, you know, again, it's a nice maneuver here, and Destiny's doing whatever he can to try to get a little bit of an edge in this game. But it's just going to be, you know, I think a little bit too little too late here.
Yeah,
He's going for Broodlords, too. When those come out, he might be able to get a bit of traction. Oh, but look, ThorZaIN's already making ghosts.
Yep.
And with those upgraded Marines, too, I mean, that's going to help quite a bit.
And what would a ThorZaIN game be without ghosts, honestly?
Oh, yeah.
So, 3-3 just finished, so these Marines are now staggeringly powerful. Looks like our Greater Spire going to finish in 20 seconds now, but of course then he has to have the time to morph the Broodlords on top of that. He's down by over 80 supply and down 2 bases at the moment. I mean, things are looking very grim for Destiny. I mean, very, very good job against Haswabs and Mana, but he really has an uphill battle ahead of him now.
Yep, certainly met his match. ThorZaIN is one of the best TVZers out there right now.
Yep.
And he has especially got the late game just nailed down to his science. I mean, we've seen a lot of his games on maps like Shakuras Plateau where he's got a lot of ghosts out there. He's sniping the Ultras, sniping the Broodlords. Yeah, so if there's one situation I would really, really not want to be against ThorZaIN it's late game ZVT.
Yeah, definitely, especially given the way that he's been playing so well lately. And let's see here, ship weapons level 1, personal cloaking coming up at the same time. And yet again, ThorZaIN, yes, he's dropping, but he's being so patient. He's maxed now. He's making sure that his upgrades are in place and that everything he does is just going to be so powerful. It's like Fungal's hitting those units. That drop is going to get cleaned up here in just a second.
Kind of like, there, I've done the drop this game. Mission accomplished.
Slightly more aggressive than usual.
He's like, Well, I should really drop. People are supposed to drop in TVZ, so you'll see this almost every game actually. He'll do one, and that'll be it. Oh, Neuroparasited Vikings. That's entertaining.
And he's going to drop them down and kill them here.
Just kill them with the Brood Lords. Oh, that is just poetic. That is
very well
just
done.
Poetic justice there.
Very well done.
Yep,
Okay.
I like that.
All right, let's see here, though. Wow, Destiny needs to come up big in this next engagement. I mean, doesn't just need to win, but needs to be able to win convincingly enough that he can just move and kill the gold at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to have to try to do that. But, I think he's the one who's going to be getting sieged up here as ThorZaIN moves in. He's got his third base almost reconstructed again, but yeah, it's just not enough Brood Lords, not enough Lings. Tanks get sieged up.
Yeah, let's see
ThorZaIN,
here.
Couple those ghosts out.
Yep, couple of Vikings now starting to pick away the Brood Lords as well. Don't know if there's any Corruptors left over behind that. No, it's actually just Brood Lords. Queen, what did you do?
They always do that, man. I mean, suicidal queens. It happens every time.
That's true. That was a little hard to watch, actually. Let's see here. Brood Lord sitting there unupgraded actually at the moment. It's just the Broodlings themselves which are going to be upgraded, not Broodling Strike. But that's a pretty powerful army from ThorZaIN. Ton of units behind this as well. A lot of ghosts already. I would expect to see some mass snipes here in a second.
Yep, here they come, sniping time. Nice fungals on everything. A couple ghosts remain in the back, though. He needs to get some EMPs off on those Festers as well.
Yes.
He's still got plenty of energy for snipe, though. And he's
Holy
on the Brood Lords.
crap. Okay.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. GG from Destiny. And mouz.ThorZaIN has actually tied it up now, 2-2. We're going to head into game number 5, all tied up. Very, very convincing game there out of ThorZaIN.
Man.